We often get questions about why don't we talk about eating fruit. Interestingly enough, actually, we used to talk about eating fruit, and that has diminished over the course of time because actually there are issues with eating fruit. So today we're going to talk about fruit. Is it healthy and should it be in your diet? Hello, Wellness Warriors. Welcome to Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, Pat Chat Edition. I'm Violet.
And I'm Pat.
Fruit. Take it away.
I know I used to love fruits before I did keto and low carb. And there was always fruit in the house, apples, bananas. So yeah, what about you? Like, do you were less of a fruit eater than me, if I remember correctly.
It's so funny because historically, I would have been ashamed to say that I don't eat fruit because it was seen as a healthy thing to do. So this, yeah, you're right. I like at your house there was fruit. At my house there was enough fruit for my daughter because seriously, I didn't eat fruit. And I might add a little bit of fruit on the weekends when I knew your boys were coming. But so definitely I feel like, first of all, we came from different places when it comes to fruit.
Oftentimes at my place, that in the fridge, that bottom container where you're supposed to put fruit, it was like full. Funny enough, now, no fruits anymore in the house. So the question becomes, are fruits really as healthy as we were taught to?
And actually the answer to that is no. And we're going to talk today about why they're not healthy, but the short answer, it's no, right? Yeah. But let's dive deep into why aren't they healthy.
I think the short answer to why is one word: fructose, right?
Even better. That's the short answer. Yeah. But again, like, why fructose? So let's talk more about it. Like, the truth is, if we're looking at fructose is a very specific sugar, a sugar that our body actually doesn't make and doesn't actually use directly. So what it means is that every time we eat fruit, half of whatever we're eating, approximately half of whatever we're eating, is fructose. And then our body has to do something with this fructose because it can't use it directly. So that means my liver needs to step in and metabolize fructose into something usable and eliminate it too. So here's what's interesting. And I think there was a study done, and I wish I could remember who did the study, but there was a study done where what they were able to show is that if you give people fructose, and didn't have to be large amounts, but what was happening is that even in a short period of time of getting fructose, there was a bit of weight gain, which of course would make sense. You're eating a lot of sugar, so you should gain weight. But what was surprising and detrimental to our health with the weight gain is that most of the weight gain was liver. So fatty liver disease, what was happening was that the liver was storing that fructose up.
So the fatty liver disease is not only caused by alcohol.
Exactly. Yeah. This is where we don't often dive deep enough. Anytime that our liver has to metabolize something and make it safe from our system, it turns it into fat, right? And so what's happening is it's grabbing that alcohol, turning it into fat in our liver. It's grabbing the fructose, turning it into fat. So the real problem is that your liver is the only place in your body that actually metabolizes fructose, which is what makes it so ridiculously dangerous for us. And we know it's dangerous, so we don't even have to question whether fructose is dangerous, because high fructose corn syrup has been in the news for the longest while. And where does the high fructose and right? It's coming from vegetation sources. I think when they in soft drinks are getting it from corn, I believe. But it's not any different. The fructose from corn is not different than the fructose from an apple, the fructose from strawberries, the fructose from bananas. If nothing else you get from this conversation today, I want you to get fruit is not a health food.
So there are really like specific damages actually that fructose is causing in our body.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. Because like in the next video, I did find an interesting article that were comparing fructose and glucose. So even in our bodies, even though glucose is a bad substance to have, like they're metabolized very differently.
I'm going to correct that. Okay. Glucose is not a bad substance to have. Okay. Our body actually makes it.
Yeah, true.
It's in excess, glucose is not good for you. Okay. Right? Versus fructose is a bad substance to be in your body because your body doesn't make it and it can't use it. Okay. So and making that distinction I think is important because it's what put it in my brain. I'm not eating fruit anymore. And it's what helped our kids to really decrease the amount of fruit that they were eating because we explained it to them.
But what's interesting here, like we're talking about our kids, like right now they're not into fruits that much. I just didn't buy them anymore, and they didn't complain. I'm just wondering, is there a part like related to addiction where maybe fructose is easier to get rid of, or they don't cause as much craving though as like added sugar in junk food?
There's kind of like multiple things I think I'm going to say for this one, because part one is that I don't believe that it's a difference in the addiction, because I do feel like the taste of sweet does something in our brain, and so that cephalic response we get, whether we can use the sugar or not, is still there. However, we also have to keep in mind, and if I use myself as the example, because I feel like I'm a great example of this, on the occasions where I said no more chocolate, Violet, how many other options did I have? It was easy for me to have chips, to have cookies, to have, right? I had these other options. So if I put it in my head, I'm not having this, then I just turn to something else. I kind of feel that what you're saying, it's the opposite. At breakfast, the son you're talking about couldn't have cookies. He couldn't have ice cream. So when you're saying to him, well, you have the option of a banana, of course he took it. It's a hit of sugar. But if you think about later in the day, when he had the option to have a cookie or ice cream, he took the cookie or ice cream.
But I think my point was, even when I used to eat a lot of fruit, and mostly at breakfast actually, is something that I didn't really crave. Like I was craving chocolate, I was craving cookies, date squares, but I never actually was craving an apple. I ate it because at the time I thought it was healthy. So never in my history I remember, oh, I really need an orange today because like I miss an orange.
But you don't really need to crave it, is the other part of the story. Okay. Like again, it's seen as healthy. You knew every morning you were going to have some fruit. Like it wasn't something that you needed to crave, versus when you were thinking about eating a cookie, were you thinking, yep, healthy, I'm going to eat a cookie? No, in the back of your head is like, I really shouldn't be doing this, but I really want. And so of course you're going to have that fight with yourself. And I feel like this is part of what happens. And I feel like for the kids, like, so just to counter that, how many times did my daughter, because I'm not a fruit person, would be like, Mommy, there's no fruit. Oh my gosh, like buy fruit, because she was craving fruit.
She was craving,
right? Okay. Because I didn't buy it. So it's like also the thing you don't have, but that you do want, is the thing that you're going to chase, right? Like the truth is, in our house, were there cookies? Yes, because Mommy ate cookies. In our house, were there chips? Yes, because Mommy ate chips. Was there chocolate? Yes, because Mommy. But was there fruit? No, because Mommy didn't eat fruit. So in our house, that's what was being begged for. In your house is, Dad, there's no cookies left. What happened to the cookies? Right? So it was the difference. Okay. And honestly, the other part of the story is, if you think about it, when we were at your place, what was she doing? She was going to that fruit, right? She was like, and the cookies and whatever, when it was dessert time, she's like, whatever, because at my house, she was able to get those things.
True.
Why do I feel on the ketogenic lifestyle that there's such a conversation about how come we can't have fruit? Is because you've been now told, stop eating fruit, or stop eating so much fruit, or stop, right? And if I have to keep at 20, where does an apple fit into my day?
Yeah, that's the next thing I wanted to bring. So let's say you're stubborn, you want to do a keto, even a low carb lifestyle, how damaging fructose is. Do they have a place? So I have some numbers like for you, like let's say you want to do, for example, a keto 20 grams or less.
Can I just say right now, I'm so happy that I got the apple number right as I'm looking there, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. So an apple, 223 grams, 31 grams of carbs, minus 5 grams of fiber. So that still like leaves 26 grams of net carbs.
I usually say 25. So
already there, like you're kind of, if you do a 20 grams or less.
So
like
one apple puts you over your limit for the day of sugar.
Yeah. So that means, because like you could, even if you wanted to do like one apple, all your carbs coming from there, it's not realistic, because you still have carbs. Like let's say if you eat a lot of salad, or unless you're carnivore, if you're carnivore, you wouldn't have an apple. But my point is, like, there's still carbs in other part of your diet coming from vegetables.
Okay, so the thing that I want to just point out before we move on with the apple, we have 26 grams of carbs. Keeping in mind that somewhere between 7 and 10 of those grams of carbs is fructose. Okay. So if you start and think, how much damage is that doing every time you eat an apple? These are the things that we're not thinking about. and I can't remember exactly what the ratio is for an apple, but because each fruit the ratio is a little bit different, but it's about half for most fruit. If you just go down the line is 26, so you would say 13 if you just want to be safe. But that's a lot attacking just your liver. Think about it. Your whole body is dealing with 13 glucose, and your liver is doing fructose 7 to 13. Does anybody see a problem with that?
If we keep going on, like a banana, for example, medium banana, 136 grams, same thing, like even less, the weight is a bit less, so it's more sugary because in the end it's still 31 grams of carbs minus 3.5 grams of fiber.
3.5, okay.
So just 3.5 grams of fiber. Contrary to the popular belief, like bananas are not that high in potassium.
No. You've got to eat like 7 bananas to get the amount of potassium.
There's a lot of better potassium sources out there.
Avocado.
Yeah.
Avocado, you only need to eat, well, theoretically, you only need to eat 3 avocados.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you eat 1, you still got a third of what you needed for the day.
A medium orange, 184 grams, 22 grams minus 4.5. The citrus are a little bit less sugary than the apple and the bananas, like in general. I'm going to come back to the berries because I know the berries are a little bit better. Mango. Mango, 165 grams. That's for 1 cup. So 1 cup, like, is not that big. Like, you can go through that pretty easily. 25 grams minus 2.6. So they're better than apple. A cup of pineapple, same thing. I really thought pineapple was really like more sugary than that. 22 grams of carbs minus 2.3. So you have 19 net carbs per cup. With all those standard fruits that you easily find at the grocery, so even like a cup of like, if you cut it in cubes or a medium fruit, like, is already pushing you towards the limit of what you can have of carbs per day.
I want to pause, guys. I'm just realizing something. Like, the way that we did this, it's hard to compare these things because we didn't do it at 100 grams each. Just so you can compare which ones are better than which ones, I mean, better. None of them are good. But which ones are more high in sugar than which ones by 100 grams. So we'll add that to the video. Because for me, I always try to also encourage people, if I know which option is giving me the most sugar, then I can also see that that's a more dangerous thing for me to play with than other things that are giving me less sugar. Right? It's part of the reason that I try to lean towards leafy vegetables rather than root vegetables and all these. Even though theoretically you could have carrots on keto as long as you have the right amount, I don't even touch them because the taste of that sweet is likely to pull you down a rabbit hole that you don't want to be going down.
You often hear like the berries are the best option on keto. So let's go with strawberries. A cup of strawberries, 152 grams, will give you 12 total carbs minus 3 fiber. So you already at 9 net carbs, almost half of your. Even better, I think, blackberries. I think the blackberries are the go-to fruit for keto people. 1 cup, 144 grams, so it's 14 grams minus 8 grams of fiber. So you're at 6, like more like 25% of your total carb allowance. So raspberries, 1 cup, 123 grams. It's 15 minus 9. So again, 6 net carbs. So even
get a little bit less, but it's around 10.
Yeah. So we often hear that the strawberries are a good choice. I like you always say, maybe just like once in a while, if you need your fruits or if you want your fruits, go with the raspberries and the raspberries and the blackberries. These are the best, I think, options. At 25%, they can fit it, but you don't need to have a cup too. Like what I was doing, and that I like, if you do like a big salad, just put a few on the salad. That's like, it's good. Like the mix of lettuce and blackberries, I used to love that.
So like the thing that I'm going to say here, and I know I'm always saying the unpopular thing, but I think I feel like I have to say it. If I was struggling to get away from alcohol, and I was drinking vodka and what's another hard one? Vodka, rum. So I was drinking all those high percentages alcohols. Would you encourage me, wow, you're doing so well, just drink wine? Would you encourage me to do that?
Probably not.
Right, because I can still get drunk off wine, right? I can still push myself back into wanting the other things off wine or off beer or whatever, those low, even I can do like, so the thing is that I really try to help people to understand, like, if you figured out that carbohydrates are causing a problem for you, and especially that we figured out that fructose is just another poison that we've been putting in our body, why are you even trying to find the fruit with the least amount? That's like finding the alcohol with the least amount Like, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's why we end up hurting ourselves, because we're still looking for the workaround. We're still looking for the loophole. We're still looking for the way that I can still engage without. Don't do it. But I know you're gonna do whatever you're gonna do. But I'm just saying it out loud. Don't do it. You're only hurting yourself.
Yeah, like fruits on a keto lifestyle, they don't have much place unless like a couple blackberries here and there. But like you said, it all depends on how you can manage them.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you shouldn't be trying to manage them. That's what I'm
No,
actually saying. I'm really saying that.
Yeah.
I am saying that. It's like it's like, again, that whole alcoholic idea. Would you tell an alcoholic to try to manage it? So but you're gonna do what you're gonna do, and I know that.
Yeah, I know. But like I did what I did, and I used to buy them. But funny enough, like I don't even remember last time I bought like blackberries. Like, so it's not something that like was.
I agree that there's a transitional period where people think that they need these things. They think that they're deprived if they don't have them. I really do, and I saw that you were doing that, and then I saw that you stopped doing it. And I said nothing, because you know what? Like, again, your food is your food, and my food is my food, right? But the truth is, the same way that you saw that I used to eat nuts, and now you see that there's never any nuts in my house, right? Why? Because I realized when I touch them, I can't stop. Right? So fruit was your thing, nuts were my thing. And I realized I can do seeds, and I'm fine. I can have a little bit of seeds, and I can, but nuts, I taste the sweet in nuts like you can't imagine. I eat it and I'm just like, oh, I taste it. Seeds, I don't taste any sweet, right? I just get salty.
Okay.
So I can do seeds, I can't do nuts, right? We're all different. But I'm just pointing out to you that as soon as I saw that those nuts were pushing me to want to eat the whole bag, I stopped buying them, because I know myself, right? Recovering addict. I know myself, right? I was doing chocolate for years. Now it was going to be nuts. No. I'm not trading one for another, right? We have to know ourselves, and that's all I'm saying. So just correcting that, because I'm saying don't do it. But again, I know I'm just saying don't do it.
Let's have some fun, like doing the research about fruit. I did fall on a couple of videos where they were talking, like it's a variant of a vegetarian diet called the fruitarian diet. And I was like, wow, that was kind of crazy, the damage someone would do to their bodies. Basically, out of 1,500 calories, I know we don't like talking about calories, but like the thing, like the baseline was 1,500 calories, 50% of those calories coming from fruit. So this is like 750 calories coming from fruit. That's
wait,
like,
let's back. Can we do that math? So 750 calories would be how many in carbohydrate? Grams would be how much?
Divided by 4. Like if you divide by 4, because like it's 4 calories per. So 750 divided, like almost 200 grams of fruit.
200 grams, which means how much is
100 in fructose.
100 grams of fructose.
So baseline 1,500 calories. 50% of that's coming from fruit. 20% from plant protein, so legumes, we'll see like a bit later. 20% from veggies, nuts, and seed, and 10% from whole grain. So
that's the best part of it, I heard, is the 10% from whole grain. But I mean, like, none of these things are things we would regularly be eating in our lifestyle. However, let's see how it plays out.
So the 50% out of 1,500 calories is 750 calories coming from fruit. Okay. That's equivalent to 2 apples, 3 bananas, a cup of pineapple, a cup of cantaloupe, and a papaya. So like I'm gonna put.
So in one day, you're having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and a papaya. We wouldn't eat the whole papaya, so probably like another 3. So you're having 10 servings of fruit.
It's even more than the recommended from like even the Canadian Food Guide that's recommending 4 or 5, I think. Vegetable part with nuts and seeds, so it's a salad with cucumber, tomatoes, and some seeds. Like
again, that looks at least.
That's like not bad.
2, maybe 2 servings there.
Yeah.
So interesting. Okay.
Yeah, this is a good fit, I think, even for a diet, because like there's nuts, seeds, and veggies. So that's the best part. And the last one, the grains, like it looks like rice with chickpeas. So the protein coming from the chickpeas and the 10% grains coming from that little
and some kind of
rice
bean.
salad. Yeah, and green beans. Yeah. So but
490 calories.
Yeah. So yeah, the part that was horrible was the 750 calories.
But again, there you're looking. That's again another 2 servings. So if you think about the servings that they're having, there's like 10 at the first one, 2 and 2.
Yeah.
That's like
But
14
there's no.
servings
But
of.
you need to keep in mind that there's no fat in that, no fat and no almost no protein. Like
Yeah,
the
all
whole
their
thing
energy is
is
coming
like
from carbohydrates.
from carbs. It's like
Well,
it's
maybe
strictly
I
a
mean,
carb
that looks like
base.
there might be a salad dressing on that one, so maybe there's some salad
A
dressing
little
there.
bit of oil.
Yeah.
Like I think she was okay with a little bit of oil.
Okay. So,
Like
you know,
olive oil.
the interesting thing there, if you just think about this from a very kind of like, how am I treating my body? How am I fueling my body? Because it's a vegetarian way of eating. The amount of protein is not that much. It's like, it was a very small amount of protein. Because I'm wondering, is that even enough protein for your day? Like, I'm thinking, like, I remember when I did the calculator at the very, very beginning, although I never paid attention to this, because as I said multiple times, eat to satiation, but it was telling me I needed 90 grams of protein. Like, I don't believe that there would be 90 grams of protein in that salad that she just showed there. So
But
again, are you even giving your body enough of what it needs? And then we have to keep in mind that there's one particular protein that we have to really search hard to get from plants, and I can't remember which one it is right now. If we remember, we're going to put it on the screen. But there's one particular one that we can't really get easily from plants, and I don't know if you can get it from chickpeas. So possibly maybe you do, and that's why she chose chickpeas. But these are things that I'll put on the screen.
But the thing that came to mind, like, is we know that like carbohydrates spikes your insulin. So how can you even like imagine feeling full like on that diet? I would be hungry all the time.
Oh,
Like
but
with
that's
the
why
insulin
there's so
spike,
many.
like
But that's why there's so many servings.
yeah.
Very likely
I
that
guess,
person is
probably.
eating all through the day. Right? You have a banana here, you have 3 bananas to get through, 2 apples to get through, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Of course, if you want to have all those fruits in
You're not
one serving at
I doubt.
breakfast, that's a lot of fruits.
But I
indeed.
doubt that's what's happening. I have the feeling that those 2 bowl things that she showed were those were probably supper and then the fruit is probably just being eaten throughout the course of the day.
Yeah.
That's my guess.
But anyway, I was just like surprised to see that kind of diet existing, like without even like you said, just a super low amount of proteins. And
The other thing that's scary, it's a 1,500 calorie diet.
yeah,
So if you think about it, ladies and men, like when we do a normal diet, aren't you at 1,500 calories? So basically, this person is asking you to live your entire life on a low calorie diet.
Yeah.
If it's that healthy, why does it need to be so low in calories? Why can't we eat our normal 2,000, 2,200 calories worth of it if it's that healthy, right? It's another piece of the puzzle, right? So, yeah, I think you're going to be eating all the time because you're going to be hungry, but I also think you're going to be hungry because you're going to be hungry,
Yeah.
right? There's not enough there, right? In my opinion. That's my opinion.
Yeah. So fruits, they have their place.
Please. The place for fruits is for the animals to eat outside, to keep your squirrels happy and whatever. But like in our diet, I really encourage everybody in your diet, minimize if you are going to have fruit, but I would suggest just not even having fruit. I don't believe it's something that we need to be healthy. Your body makes all the carbohydrates that you need.
So fruit, do they have their place on any lifestyle? Even I would say not even on the keto lifestyle, but on any lifestyle.
I think the number one reason that people tell me they want to do low carb is so they can reintroduce fruit. And I think that's the worst thing on the planet you could ever do. Like, this is the worst idea you're gonna do. But I really feel like there's no place for poison in any diet. And fructose, our body cannot metabolize. It's a strict poison, just like alcohol. A strict poison. It does not do anything positive for us. So I say, no, there's no place for fruit. People are going to attack me. I get it, but it's okay.
Well, us, I guess, because I'm there too. But it's okay. We can take it.
I want to thank you for watching Mind Blowing Health and Wellness with Violet, Pat Chat Edition. This was an interesting conversation, so I'd like you guys to share this video. I think people can learn a lot from understanding that there is no place for fruit in our diet. Teespring, Patreon, in the description below. Thanks for watching, guys. I can't wait to talk to you again next week.
See you next week.